We start with that Group 1 Winterbottom. We got the railway right last week, the mile race. This is their biggest sprint race, $1.5 million. And you talked about the fact that it's a home and away sort of game, isn't it? The Interstate Raiders up against the best of their locals. It appears that way on paper.
Yeah, Godolphin sending a couple over with Palele and Villana, who you tipped the other week and got up at a good price. And the astrologist just keeps keeping on. Like, if there's a big dance, the astrologist's there, isn't he? Like, he is absolutely at the door when it's open and he's in and having a good time. So he's in another Group 1. And Rothfire, Rob Heathcote taking Rothfire over there. Won the race a few years ago, Matty, with buffering, as we all remember. I think Rothfire can maybe do it again for Robbie Heathcote. You're
thinking Rothfire's the best of the visitors?
Yeah, I think he is. I think getting right back on top of the ground, a proper dry track with good speed in the race. He's got a draw from 3 where he'll just be able to lob in that first 4 or 5, which I think really suits him. The one thing that he doesn't want to be, though, is hemmed in. You've got to let this horse flow into a race. They showed some speed on him last time. I think you just want him out in a little bit of room from the 450, and if he's there at that point with that sort of run, I think he'll win.
All right, who's best of the locals then to take on Rothfire?
I think Snipperucci.
Snipperucci?
Right? What a name.
Yeah.
Have you seen a better name in a while than Snipperucci for Stephen Miller? So I think that horse is absolutely airborne, good on-speed horse, leads, kicks really well. Won a week ago over the 1,200 metres, so the same track and distance, ran decent time. I think he can run a really cheeky race.
All right, have your tips then for the Group 1 Winterbottom.
Well, I'm with Rothfire. Yeah, I think he'll go and get it done. Snipperucci, next best for me.
Who's on Snipperucci? Pikey?
Who is on Snipperucci? Jason Brown. Who's riding well. But from
Pikey's the astrologist.
I think he'll just jump and lob and be in the right spot. So, yeah, the astrologist, Villana, Palele, they're all in there in the mix for third. But I'm quite keen on the toppy, Rothfire.
All right, I've got Rothfire on top as well. I'm going with the 3-year-old down the bottom, the unbeaten 3-year-old My Bella May.
Yeah.
Done everything right, got from a maiden through to a listed race, the Placid Arc. So that's the sort of the question mark at the lightweights. My Bella May to run second. And Elite Street, who won the race 2 years ago and was placed last year to run third. So I've got 1, 16 and 4. So that is the big sprint race in Perth. We've also got the Sandown Guineas. How about a tip for that?
Yeah, well, I'm with King's Consort. I was with him last week as my best bet. And when that rain came at Ballarat, his wheels were spinning in that around the turn as the leader sort of skipped away a little bit. So being able to balance up a little bit and finish his race off at Caulfield back on top of the ground, I think that's a good scenario for him. He's double figures. Like, I think he's better than $15. So I'll play again, given he was a beaten favourite last week, at that good price.
I've got See You in Heaven as the tip there, and my best bet as well. So just black booked it straight away. It went over the line in the Desirable Stakes. Already a Group 3 winner. Now ready for the 1600 at the 4th start for the prep. And we know how talented Richard and Chantel Jolly are at picking out the right race. What about some other bets at Caulfield?
Well, it's one of those days, Matty. If you've been following a few, there's plenty across the card that are there with a super chance. If you look at the Eclipse, you've got Keats, who's racing really well, absolutely flying there. Literary Magnate, I thought, in the Heffernan was a really good chance. Twilight Glow, Grey Rivers there with a really good hope as well. There's interest across the card.
I've got another best bet in Remedies in the first. Very impressive run first up at Cranbourne. Yes, the time wasn't that flash, but didn't have to do a bit, and I think there was still another gear to come and went to the line pretty well held. And I found one at odds for best value at Get Up Girl. Thought the run was terrific on
it was
behind
huge.
Magic
50
Time.
to 1 too.
Yeah, Magic Time's a form race that we said we're going to watch over into autumn. But unfortunately, David Gately's also found it at his value, our man Gator. So as soon as Gator says it's best value, you lose two or three points in the price.
That's a really good race, the Twilight Glow, and Grey River and horses like that all coming through similar form lines. I think it's a pretty competitive betting race. So whatever you like in that race, you're going to get a good price.
It's a good day's racing at Caulfield. There are our tips. Also in the Group 1 Winterbottom. Coming up next, Nick H will join us to talk racing at Rosehill and the Group 3 Festival Stakes.
The betting brand for sports fans. That's better. Gamble responsibly.